Hello again. So today we're going to be doing a regrowth tint and a cut and blow dry, and this will be the end result. As you can see, we have covered the grey and we've just taken it a little bit shorter. There was some thinning technique as well going on underneath the haircut. The colour that we used today was 9NI. So 9NI is a level 9 with a bit of natural ice, which makes it a little bit less golden. The client has quite a lot of grey. I'd say she's about 70% grey, more so at the front compared to the back. And I mixed 30 grams in the bowl. She's got quite a lot of hair. It might not look like it, but she's got an awful lot of hair. So 30 grams of tint in the bowl, and I mixed it 1-to-1, so I had 30 grams of peroxide, 6% as well. Mixed it together in a bowl, and I sectioned the hair so that I'm doing a parting all the way down the centre and painting left and right. And then I'm going to section from the crown just behind the ear as well. We are just going to be doing our hot cross bun sectioning. So this is the sectioning technique that we use so that we make sure that we cover every single strand of hair without missing a single strand. Because this is a client's regular application to her hair, we are just painting the regrowth. So you can see it's a slightly different shade there. Her natural shade would be a base 7. So she's got some grey in her hair. We're lifting it up 2 shades to a level 9. And we're just doing the hot cross bun. So as you can see here, this is the hot cross bun sectioning. You've got 4 sections, so I've put them into quarters. And I've just held it together, or held them separate using the tint. Now, each client is different. Some clients you might want to start at the back, but because my client has got a lot of white hair towards the front, I'm just going to paint on the hairline first of all, making sure that is covered. And then I'm going to work in horizontal sections, painting up and painting down of the line, just making sure that I cover every single strand of hair. You'll often find that when you paint down first and then up, because you'll have more on your brush as you keep dipping in. Now, you don't want to overload your brush with lots of tint. However, you do need to make sure that there is enough tint on the brush to cover the hair. If you are scrimping and not kind of applying enough colour, you'll end up with the colour just won't take it. Be a bit of a wishy-washy colour, maybe a bit patchy. So you need to get used to mixing the correct amount in the bowl. So I know this client is 30 grams, which is a lot more than what you would normally mix for someone. Normally it's around 25 grams. However, some clients might be 15 grams or 20 grams. Just depends how much hair they have on their head and how much regrowth they actually need covering. So we do recommend clients come back every 7 to 8 weeks to get their regrowth tint done. However, if they are quite grey and also the colour that they have put on is very dark, you might find that they're coming back every 4 weeks to get their tint reapplied. I do try to advise clients to go lighter as they go grey, because it changes with their skin tone as well. So where some clients are like, I've been black all my life. Yeah, but actually black doesn't suit you anymore. Grey suits you now, so your skin colour has changed. And you'll often find as well their eyes just pop out when they have a lighter skin colour, lighter hair colour. So your natural is the colour that obviously suits you the best, regardless of if it's changing. So the closest you can get to that natural colour without it being grey would probably be the best for them. So this client's regrowth, when she first come to me, she obviously was grey, but she was putting on a level 6, which was quite a darker colour. It's classed as a dark blonde, but to you it might be like a light brown colour. And it was just far too dark for her, made her skin quite washed out. So we gradually took it lighter and lighter. We did highlights, and then it got to the stage where we stopped even doing highlights because this colour that we put on kind of blends in with her natural hair, and it gives this highlighting effect which makes it look natural. So the end result is really lovely and soft. And obviously when she come in it wasn't that bad, but her regrowth is coming through and she just likes to keep it covered. So we're doing the left hand side here. So what we do to the right hand side we'll do to the left hand side, just making sure that we cover every single strand of hair. Once we have done the front 2 sections, we will then just move on to the back 2 sections. You can pick whichever one that you want first. The development time for this product, it is a permanent product and it is 45 minutes. And just make sure that you don't cut it short. Sometimes the colour could still be a bit wishy-washy if you take it off too early, which we don't want. And also we just need to make sure that the colour has fully developed and it is the colour that you want. So using the back of the tint brush, I'm just lifting away sections because it's the oxygen that will help the peroxide to start doing its job, opening up the cuticle scales and depositing the permanent colour into the hair shaft. So now we're going to do the back 2 sections. So I'm just painting around the hairline first of all, making sure that is all covered, and then I will go in starting at the top and working in horizontal sections all the way down. So this is going to continue on. You can continue watching, but I will speak again when we start doing the haircut. So the colour is fully developed. We left it on for 45 minutes, washed it off using 2 shampoos and a conditioner. And even though it was a light colour, I still emulsified the tint from the scalp to make sure there wasn't any stainage on the skin. So that's to emulsify. You just wet your fingers a little bit and rub the tint into the skin until it kind of lifts off. So 2 shampoos and conditioner, bring them back to the cutting chair, and then you're going to section ready for the haircut. So when my client has already got the haircut that she kind of desires, she does want some thinning done because she finds it's a bit too heavy around the sides where her ears are. It's quite heavy there, so we're just going to take it a little bit shorter. So the haircut is really there. I am just following the same haircut. However, if you did have longer hair, you'll just have to cut a bit more off. So trying to get the angle for this, it's quite hard to angle it so that you can see every incision. Tilting the head forward, starting in the middle, and you need to decide how much you're going to cut off and then follow that. So your first haircut that you're doing now, this is called the guideline. So I'm pushing the comb against the skin, making sure that there's no graduation, pushing it right down so it's 0 degrees. Sometimes when you hold it, your finger behind the hair actually gives it some lift. So if you kind of smarm it down on the back of the head or back of the neck, you do get that 0 degrees that you wanted. Moving up to the next section. So take straight lines, clip up the bits of hair that you don't want. Make sure it's kind of symmetrical, the sections that you're doing. Combing it down and following your guidelines. So we're going to take the centre section first. Make sure that you can see your guideline from underneath. I always cut in the middle and then go to the left and then the right. Just because I am right-handed, I presume if you were left-handed, you would do the opposite. So just cut into the exact same guideline, not longer, not shorter, exactly the same, making sure the head is tilted slightly forward. And then I've got my third section coming down now. And I'm just going to match that up. Now the important thing is when you're doing the bob to comb it all back, or any one length really, just to comb it all back. Maybe check that there isn't any little overhangs. I'm just taking a little bit of a snippet there. I'm not putting layers really into the hair. Client doesn't want layers. I'm just making sure there's no overhang. But when I comb this back over in different directions, just in case the client moves her part in, I don't want any overhangs in any shape or form. Or if they put it up in a ponytail, you get these little bits hanging out. So just make sure you're just checking the haircut as you go round. Once you're ready, you can then apply your product, give it a bit of rough dry, and then get on with your blow drying. So the product that I like to use today, it's quite a popular one that I always tend to use. It's the Perfect Setting Spray by Wella. It's got a lovely smell and it gives just that perfect hold that I need. Obviously, if you want something a bit stronger, you can put something a bit more stronger on, like a mousse. And then we're going to dry it until the hair is at least 70% dry. So really try and just give it a bit of a rough dry now. Okay, once you've rough dried it, then you're going to just put it up in sections that you feel will suit your blow drying skills. I'm just doing a section on top. Then I'm going to have a section on the left and also on the right. I like to section it on top sometimes just so that we get a bit of root lift there and it's not so flat, because sometimes if you take too long blow drying, it kind of just sits flat on the head and it's hard to get a lift because it's already dried while you've been blow drying the back. So we're going to do a round brush blow dry, going under. The brush that I'm using is a medium size round brush. And it's just going to be going under, giving it a bit of root lift. Then we're going to straighten the hair and also thin out some areas as well with some thinning scissors before finishing. Just going through this centre part here, really giving it some volume, lifting it, making sure that it's completely dry, and then giving it some roundness at the end. And as you can see, the colour is looking lovely. It is that little bit lighter in certain areas, but that's just naturally what's happened. She hasn't had any highlights put in for ages now. So move forward just another inch until it is all completely blow dried. Now I'm going to go in this section here with the thinning scissors. So these are serrated scissors, quite chunky ones, and I'm just going to take some weight out. Not too much, but just enough so that it reduces the thickness there for her. So I'll do that while I'm straightening. I find that works a lot better than straightening the whole head and then going back in with the thinning scissors. So I'm going to continue straightening the hair and then any section that I need to thin out, I will do that as and when I come across it, rather than at the end. So getting my thinning scissors again, going in. I will only ever thin the hair underneath. So I will never take hair from the top and start thinning it, because you'll get all these little spiky bits, which is not necessarily needed. So carry on straightening and then thinning where needed. So I'm just going in at the ends here, and I'm just going to point cut the ends just so that it sits a little bit softer. She's got quite thick hair, so I'm just going to thin it out a little bit, lifting it up and then point cutting using my scissors. And just double check the whole haircut, making sure that the balance is okay, there's no little bits that you've missed, and then using some products to smooth it down at the end. I just put a little bit of Olaplex number 6 on, which is a little bit of cream just to soften it. Nothing too heavy. You can put a little bit of hairspray on as well. But you can see it looks like she's got highlights, but she hasn't. It's where her natural grey has blended. And this is the finished result. So we've got a lovely natural looking colour. Like and subscribe for more.